I mean, they just smashed you, mate. You kind of got to look at them in a new light here. So, I don't know. I think maybe a little bit of disrespect coming through from Rare Adam. But I do think Rogue Warriors played that exceptionally. We talked already about how they were able to use that composition really, really well. But we're coming into game number 2, and we're seeing some similar things, right? Zoe here in the mid lane coming through for Forge. I think that looked great. The Syndra actually to try and counteract that for FoFo, kind of an old school counter towards the Zoe. Also, you're kind of getting 200 years plus season 11 on Rare Adam. So late game scaling for Rare Adam kind of looking nutty right now.
Yeah, Rare Atom have a lot of years on their side there with Viego, Gwen, and Aphelios. That is many hundreds of years in this Rare Atom composition. But Forge got the Zoe once again. Betty going with the Ashe. They've got the full Freljord bot lane going on right there, which for anyone that hasn't seen Braum and Ashe in a 2v2 in the bottom side, if you ever overextend, you die. There is no escaping from this combo. We'll see if they're going to be able to... I just saw you coughing on the webcam as I throw it to you.
It's all good, it's all good. I got it out of the way. For Rogue Warriors, it definitely feels like this is a very strong pick comp that is going to rely on Forge and Betty, right? You've even got ZDZ to try and lock up someone with that Hextech ultimatum, but it feels like a lot of the way that this wants to go is Rogue Warriors making a pick initially before the fight kicks off, using QiuQiu to try and buy space for that pick to happen, get Rogue Warriors in a space where they're able to recontest then in the 4 versus 5 push. Whereas when I look across at Rare Adam, I mean, scale. Look for the late game. Try and see if you can find these nice fights where you're able to get Leyan and Cube into the thick of things, start to get these resets for Leyan. And it's actually a really strong combo between Gwen and Viego if you're able to land a lot of this needlework, because you end up having this combo where you shred so many low health bars across the board with that 5th, or what, those 5 needles that go across Rogue Warriors. And then Leyan just comes in with the Heartbreaker and starts to get all these resets. So I think certainly for Rare Adam, if they can set up in a nice 5v5, they should be in a better spot come that kind of third item spike. But for Rogue Warriors, the early pick potential of those early skirmishes a lot stronger for them.
Now, I want to quickly mention these junglers here, because we are going to see opposite pathing once again. And Xiaohao can look towards the bottom lane. He's on his somewhat signature at this point, Lee Sin. He's played 2 games on it, 100% win rate. It's his Lee Sin and his Gwen that have been the most successful picks for him so far. Now, when we were looking at jungle proximity, the bottom lane... Oh, hang on, we've got a hook coming in on the bottom side. QiuQiu will be all right, though. It's just the level 2 smite coming out from RA. They don't get any summoners out, though, importantly. But yeah, we were looking at the bot lane proximity for Betty, and it's massive in terms of that jungle proximity. Xiaohao loves to get involved in that bottom lane.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of a weird route here from Xiaohao, leaving the, as you can see, the big wolf on his way across, but actually killing off the 2 little ones. So now going to try and move in towards this bot side to contest Scuttle, and actually maybe need to help out on this bot side a little bit.
He's got level 3 off of that. Somewhat strange, but we'll call it creative clear there. Forge in a bit of trouble as he's taking some heavy trades, but FoFo is completely out of mana at this point as he's desperately trying to crash this wave in. Forge chugging away on his corrupting pot, same for FoFo. And Forge is going to be pushed on the tower here. This is going to be very difficult for Forge to be able to get all of those CS, but now an engage at the bottom side. Xiaohao has arrived. Flash away from iBoy. They're going to look to land the Qs. There's one in. Exhaust comes down as they look to get the stun onto Hung. It's going to be first blood for Xiaohao.
A nice job from Rogue Warriors to set that up. QiuQiu with the flash forward and the exhaust to make sure they can close that distance and get the kills going for Rogue Warriors side. Actually funny to see that they gift the kill over to Xiaohao rather than give it to Betty, but Smite might be coming in for Leyan.
It's not up, but he's going to be able to Q it. Leyan gets the crab. That's going to be 2 crabs for him. Level 4. Won't commit to the fight, though, because he knows that the bot lane is available for Rogue Warriors. But now he's going to chase into the jungle a little bit here. QiuQiu is going to follow him, look to try and tag him up, but maybe QiuQiu's gone too deep. They're not on the same page here, Rogue Warriors. And it is going to delay the reset now from QiuQiu.
Yeah, a little bit messy on the reset timing, but it does buy some space for Xiaohao. Still level 2 for Hong, so in a fight that does happen with the back coming through from Betty, they should be able to contest here. But Xiaohao, he's already left the long distance bot side and gone up towards that top lane. I want to keep an eye out, though, towards this top side of the map, because as you can see, like, ZDZ, as he kind of gets to a spot where he gets some items under his belt, it still becomes kind of difficult to 1v1 up against this Gwen. She's incredibly strong in these 1v1 scenarios, and a lot of the true damage that comes through from her kit means that you can't actually shield against it. But in these early trades, as you can see like that, where Cube is low on mana, that's where ZWuJi can try and get these advantages.
Another reset coming through from iBoy and Hung here, as they'll finally be able to get some items. And it is a Noon Quiver picked up by iBoy. Huge spike in that bottom side. But Dagda, let's kind of revisit what we're expecting in this game, because I feel like already we're having a lot of action. Already we see Xiaohao affecting this bottom lane. And this Ashe is a pick that we don't see often, right? But it's a pick that does seem to be coming into the meta, certainly in solo queue. It's a very popular pick right now, and very, very strong when you go for things like the Kraken Slayer. You can also go more defensive with the shield bow, but you can become a real late game hyper carry.
Yeah, and I think it works very well against the Aphelios as well, right? Because short range, you're able to punish with the volley. As talk about punishing Forge, taking a good chunk of damage from FoFo, but it does also kind of lend itself towards that more pick-orientated style, and setting up a lot of these more bruiser-orientated top side of the map that we're seeing, right? I mean, you can even look at it usually in this game where you got Camille, you got the Lee Sin, something like a Silas, or even the Viego or something in that mid lane, all benefit greatly by having that guaranteed engage coming through from the Ashe. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it coming through a little bit more so, just because of how well it empowers the strong bruisers that we're seeing in the meta.
Hung's going to be in trouble here because Xiaohao is bot lane again. There are no summoners available for Hung except for an Ignite, which will not save him, but a Death Charge, or in fact a Dreadline will. But now iBoy just gets stunned up. What can you do the second you overextend? The Freljord lane freezes you solid.
And Roray are just not respecting this bot side. Xiaohao has been here so often, and that's 2 kills now that have come off of these plays in the bottom lane. This one going across to Betty, and make sure that Xiaohao now can try and set up for this dragon. And certainly when you look at, how aggressive you can play towards this Rift Herald, well, Betty and Chocho have full control of bots, so you can start to contest on towards Rift Herald as well, even with the extra gold that Xiaohao has picked up for himself.
So Betty in a fantastic position. Same for Xiaohao. And we can take a look at the replay. Hung he was trying to ward. He was trying to get vision.
Yeah, and he just gets caught out. And you already saw that Chocho was there, but Hung, when you've got no flash, you kind of got to give it up then at that stage. They were trying to see if they could collapse that wave on the bot side, but end up paying for it. And now again, this lane overextended. This time though, Xiaohao is pathing up towards that bot side, and it may give the opportunity here for Rare to at least get a little moment of respite in this bot lane. I want to keep my eyes though towards Rift Herald, which is about to spawn, and you need to see Xiaohao play towards mid here to get priority here for Forge, who is struggling.
He's already here, and he's already kicked FoFo in the opposite direction. Forge low on HP, should be able to dodge the final Q, though. Xiaohao has ward jump available. In fact, flashes forward. It's Forge to get the kill, or Xiaohao finished it with a Sonic Wave. Now Forge is in trouble. Sleepy Trouble Bubble buys him some time. He just walks past, straight over to his jungler again. Leyan cannot finish that first kill, but he looks for Xiaohao instead. But Sonic Wave out to safety, waiting for the safeguard cooldown. They're going to get underneath the tower. Forge barely gets out with his life, but get out he does.
The single-digit HP for Forge on that play, and that's heartbreaking for Leyan, excuse the pun, but still, we're at him now. They control the top half of the map. ZWuJi needs to be careful, because they could look for a potential play up here, but does manage to get back to his turret. Leyan, while this is all going down, is going to take away that red buff, but we're going to replay. Looks like we had some action down on this bottom side while everything was going on top. Not sure Hung, yeah, just goes over, extends, and then Betty hits 6, manages to finish off Hung, and I mean, it's 4-0, but it's one game already in Warriors' favor. What's happening?
Here's the thing, Dagda. You and I made a graphic for Betty and Chocho as a 2v2 and how they always get jungle attention. But I never actually expected them to just straight up win 2v2 against iBoy and Hung as well. Granted, obviously they've had a lot of jungle attention, right? They have advantages off the back of that. But that right there, that's Hung engaging onto them, and they just turn it straight around. Betty gets another kill. iBoy and Hung getting kind of exposed, honestly, in this bottom side of this game.
Yeah, and look, we got to kind of look at Rogue Warrior and go, right, this is what we needed to see from them. They are the composition that has kind of the earlier scaling. They are the pick composition, so having a lead is pretty important to them. So I like that we're seeing that from Rogue Warriors, and obviously Xiaohao just going, hey, look, we have this slow and incredibly potent bot lane, so let's go play towards it. However, when we look at Rare Atom, they have got the Rift Tower for themselves now. They can start to get a bit of gold back in their favor, and they are looking to scale. So we need to see Rogue Warriors continue this pace throughout the game. If Rare Atom, though, can find a way to slow down this game, stop Rogue Warriors from taking turrets, finding those picks, that's where Rare Atom can then find that late game advantage.
I will say, though, Dagda, on the positive news side for Rogue Warriors, we always talk about Dragon Souls being a potential win condition, but there's a little bit of RNG there, right? Well, Cloud Drake is already out of the way. Ocean Drake is up next. That means we are guaranteed either an Infernal or a Mountain Soul. Both of them incredibly valuable. Both of them incredibly good at helping you finish a game out. It looks good for Rogue Warriors if they can set that up, but FoFo could be in trouble once again. Looking for the enemy jungler. He's down in the bottom side. Leyan trying to make a play over there. The Sonic Wave goes in. The kick isn't quite going to work out. Good effort from Xiaohao, but couldn't make it work.
Yeah, FoFo just getting back towards his turret. It wasn't going to quite work out, but nice attempt there. You can see now Xiaohao trying to spread the love. Not only helping bot lane win, but also move that gold lead elsewhere. Now, he's behind in CS, but obviously that difference made up from all the kills he picked up. And it's kind of surprising to see how good Xiaohao has looked. Like, when I heard he was coming across from all combo, I was like, this team finished 20th in the league in LDL Spring. I was like, all right, cool. We're not going to see too much from this guy, but honestly, he's been looking pretty all right with how he's been able to interact with the lanes. He's kind of got a good idea of how he wants to play each of the games as well, and this time around now, it looks like he'll be in a good position to try and counteract Leyan's play topside. Oh, he needs to stop his recall.
He's resetting. He's resetting. He doesn't know Leyan is here right now. Cube going to be able to stack that next wave, and they can toy with the idea of a dive onto ZWuJi. Takes a fistful of stun to the face there, but ZWuJi should be fine to just walk away here. This will be plates taken, though, by RA. And it's Xiaohao that has to try and do something elsewhere on the map. Drake is coming up in 5 seconds' time. Xiaohao, you could just run down and get yourself the Drake, but in fact, just toying with the idea of going top. You can see Forge had prio mid, and maybe RA decide that it's not the time to use the Herald just yet. I say that, no, they go back in. They recommit to the play here. And now they're going to look for these plates instead. ZWuJi still on the scene. This is a little bit disjointed from RA, but they do commit in the end. I will be taking ZWuJi survives, and we'll be able to finish that wave off. No dive comes through in the end, but I think 3, maybe 4 plates taken from the side of RA.
Yeah, I was kind of liking that Xiaohao was playing towards this top side, not fully committing towards the Dragon, because you could always commit heavily towards RA top side, like TP from FoFo, 3-man top into a potential 2-tower take, but... Oh, he stole it! iBoy managed to steal it with the Inferno ult! But either way, now Rogue Warriors will turn over towards this Dragon, and I like the slower pace here. Xiaohao just kind of trying to make sure ZWuJi does stay safe and doesn't fully lose his tower, and a bunch of extra gold swinging in Cube's favor.
iBoy getting a bit of a vengeance for the early steal that we saw out from Jojo early on into the game. But now, we kind of reset for a second, and in terms of gold, thanks to that top lane play, RA are just about even again. They're down in kills, they're down in Drakes, but ultimately they're about even in gold. And importantly, a huge chunk of that gold is on a Gwen. Now, the conversation I want to bring up, Dagda, is that Q often isn't really the carry for the side of Rare Atom. It's usually down to iBoy and FoFo later on into the game, but it feels like this game, he is set up to be one of those predominant carries when it comes to the team fighting phase of the game.
I mean, it's take your pick on Rare Atom's side, right? You've so much carry potential here, and even though you've kind of set up Cube for success, you've also set up for Leyan for success as well by getting those turret plates, because all that gold was funneled into the 2 of them, and you can see there, like, close to 4.5k here for Leyan. Also having nearly 5,000 here for Cube, but they're very much behind when you look at the 2 big carries on Rogue Warriors side, right? Forge sitting 200 gold above Cube. You're looking towards Betty as well, who's almost 1,000 or 500 gold ahead of Cube as well. Like, you've still got a lot of extra gold sitting there on Rogue Warriors side.
Jojo trying to get some vision in the top side, because the next Herald will be coming up in under a minute's time, and let's be honest, plate-wise, it's pretty heavily one-sided in favor of RA. 400 gold of plates going into the pocket of Cube there. Are you expecting a big rotation up towards that top side, though, from Rogue Warriors here to try and contest the second Herald, Dagda?
I don't know if we're going to get a full contest. It feels like you just move QiuQiu up and leave Betty there to actually push him bot. And if Hung moves, great. You now got the opportunity for Betty to start answering some of these plates on the bottom side. But we'll have to see if we are going to get that, as Betty now will be able to shove in that wave. Top side, though, ZWuJi in a bit of an uphill battle, as he needs to try and hold on to this wave, giving Cube the opportunity to roam in towards River first.
Blue buff will be taken by FoFo here. Now he'll return back to the mid lane, but mid lane prior will be bought by Rogue Warriors, and they have so much vision of the area. They're just going to tag Hung. Cube moves in to try and remove some of these wards, but QiuQiu can be very confident. Arrow comes in, it hits onto Cube. He's the strongest member on the side of Rare Atom, and he's already so low in this fight. But Xiaohao too deep on his own, taken out as Gwen sustains through the action and Cube walks away. It will be 1-for-1 though, as Betty finishes off the Viego. Leyan goes down. FoFo getting chased this Freljord lane. Keeps on slowing people down. It's enough of a fight because iBoy's in the bottom lane. Maybe that could be the Herald taken.
They could turn towards Herald, but they don't actually have a jungler on either side for this. So it would be a little bit dicey. You can see that Rogue Warriors trying to make the pick happen, but they miss Hung, go straight for Cube, and somehow Cube gets the hollowed mist down before Rogue Warriors can burst them out. Then you get that over contest, and it means that we end up messing about here and nobody able to actually get that teamfight victory. The main winner in all of this is going to be iBoy on that bottom side, who is able to get so much damage on that turret. But we'll see it again, right? Hung just steps away from that, and then you get the follow-up coming through from QiuQiu, from everyone on Rogue Warriors, but unfortunately not quite able to get that CC chain down to burst out Cube before the hollowed mist comes down. Then so many overextensions here from Rogue Warriors to finish off that low health Gwen means that they end up losing some members themselves.
Ends up as a 1-for-1, which honestly, when it's a 5v4 and you're ahead on the scoreboard to start it off, not a great look for Rogue Warriors. It means that the Herald's still on the map, but Drake up in just over a minute's time, and I think Rogue Warriors are much more interested in that than the Herald. Xiaohao gets spotted out. Q will be safe down in the bottom side.
And they know that there's definitely a ward. You can see Cube responding instantly to that pressure on the bottom side. So it looks like RA will just try and trade this dragon for the Rift Herald. I don't mind that, especially... Oh, hang on.
Oh, it's a bubble down onto iBoy. He flashes out to safety, though. Keeps himself safe, using that cleanse and the flash to keep him alive. Now, onto the mid lane tower they go. Is Leyan trying to contest? He's not as safe as he was last game on that Xin Zhao. And it will be the Drake that Rogue Warriors are ultimately fighting for here. 30 seconds until that comes up. This next wave, this is the priority that has to be fought for. Trouble Bubble can't land onto anyone. It means RA will get mid prior.
Rogue Warriors need to be careful though. They invested a lot to try and get that pick on towards iBoy. And this is a composition that wants to get a pick before they start fighting. Now, they still have a lot of strength with Betty. So 5v5 not as dire.
Hook comes through. QiuQiu on the front line, but he's tanky with his Unbreakable. Not tanky enough as... Oh, I'm wrong. He jumps away. Gets a stopwatch off as well. Kick back as Cube is in the middle of everyone right here. Trying to get damage out. And it's Rare Atom ahead in the play. Double kill for Cube as they look for a little bit more onto Betty. There's a shutdown coming the way of Leyan. And suddenly everything is looking up for Rare Atom.
And remember what we said, we wanted to see that double Freljord bot lane being able to buy space, find picks, give room for Rogue Warriors in these fights. But when you've already committed the Enchanted Crystal Arrow and that Glacial Fissure to the pick, you're not really able to turn towards that dragon. The team fighting is going to be way too strong for RA when they're left free to roam. And now RA, they get these kills back in their favor. They're 2,000 gold up. First dragon for themselves, and hell, they could even turn over towards the Rift Herald, but we're going to see it here, right? This would be a hell of a lot easier if you had an Enchanted Crystal Arrow, the Glacial Fissure to try and buy space, but you don't. So when Cube goes in here, he's playing full front line, getting so much damage off that ultimate across multiple members of Rogue Warriors. The splash damage from iBoy with this Infernum as well is doing so much work, and there's just no real positioning for Rogue Warriors where they can actually get the turn in this fight.
All right, now it feels like Rare Atom are the ones with control. They have a 3,000 gold lead. Dagda, I need you to whisper sweet nothings now for the Rogue Warriors fans at home, for everyone watching that wants this upset to happen. Is there scaling? Is there some kind of late game conversation that can happen for what Rogue Warriors have brought to the table?
It's all about the pick potential. Like, if they can find these enchanted crystallars, like, hell, we've seen iBoy. He's been kind of all over the place this series. And, I mean, it's kind of the story of iBoy, right? So, you find these picks with that enchanted crystal arrow, the opportunity for these trouble bubbles to land as well. Like, you are in trouble as Rare Adam if you end up giving those moments across. But, might be Rogue Warriors are in trouble right now. Okay, never mind.
Bum time there for Rogue Warriors. Yeah, they get the Herald. They deny it from Rare Atom. They don't get it themselves, but you know what? They'll take that one. Still 100 gold. They still stop Rare Atom from getting themselves more of an advantage, which, let's be honest, taking Heralds away from Rare Atom is something that not many teams in the league have managed to do across the course of this split. So, still impressive here from Rogue Warriors to be able to find themselves these minor advantages, or even just denying Rare Atom advantages across the course of this one. But I'm consistently looking towards that mid lane here because I feel like FoFo so far has had a very quiet series here, Dagda. FoFo is one of the mid laners that I think has been at the forefront of a lot of conversations about best mid laners in the league. And I don't think he's number one, but I certainly think he's up there in the conversation. And this series, he's been awfully quiet.
We haven't managed to see a huge amount from him just because of the roles he's been playing, right? The Orianna in the last game was more so about trying to buy space for the rest of Rare Atom. This game as well has had some nice moments, but not really having too much of an opportunity to actually play against Rogue Warriors. It's been more Rogue Warriors, again, kind of looking for these plays bot side. So FoFo has been left out of the picture to a certain extent, but I think the big thing here that we're going to see from again is FoFo moving off towards the side lane and trying to get control of these side lanes, because for Rare Atom, if they are able to hold, like push back in these waves, make sure that Rogue Warriors aren't able to group, it becomes incredibly difficult for Rogue Warriors to operate where they can all collapse on an enchanted crystal arrow or a trouble bubble. So I think from FoFo, he's going to still be a bit quiet, but doing his job and just keeping these side lanes in check.
You do have to wonder for iBoy here with this Kraken Slayer build, how well he's going to be able to position in the fights. It feels like the cleanse usage has to be perfect. The flashes have to be perfect. If he does get caught out without a shield bow, he is going to be a sitting duck to the follow-up damage that can come out from a Camille, from a Lee Sin, from just the Zoe up front as well with that paddle star. Does feel like there's a lot of pressure on him, but when you look at this composition from RA, you do see a lot of threats, right? You've still got a Viego and a Gwen. If there's a lot of focus going down onto iBoy on the Aphelios, well, they can just dance around the fight and take over instead. And vice versa. Forge taking a bit of damage. I said FoFo was being too quiet. He's looking to make some noise, Dagda.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about, right? Is when you look at the side lanes, FoFo just beats Forge, and also Q beats ZDZ. So for Rare Atom, you've got the opportunity to try and play this 1-3-1, but I definitely don't want to see them just overstay on these side lanes, because again, you give the opportunity for Rogue Warriors to try and make some sort of play on the singular guy who's stuck off in a side lane. So instead, shove out these waves, quickly start to rotate together again. And when you're looking at like things like this dragon in 50 seconds, making sure you have vision control to deny Rogue Warriors any sort of opportunity to make these plays happen. Now, we're getting the resets coming through, and I think Rare Atom looking good to try and take this next Drake.
And that would be crucial because, remember, Rogue Warriors already got 2 Drakes earlier on in this game. If they could get a third, put themselves on Soul Point, they are still very much in this one with a chance of taking it. But should they start to fall apart, should they start to lose control of these Drakes, that's when it's going to look really dicey. And again, you mentioned the side lanes already. You can see Cube has pushed ZDZ all the way underneath his tower here. He's going to have to sacrifice a wave just to be able to get a reset. In fact, he stays. He opts to stay on this one instead of getting a tier 2 item. And look at this from Rogue Warriors. They're like, all right, you guys want the Drake. We're just going to threaten a Baron. We've got an Ashe. We've got a Lee Sin here. We're going to be quite happy to just go for the Baron ourselves. Forge moves up to the top side. But it looks like the actual threat on the Baron not as significant as I'd initially thought.
Now, they could have tried to base Rare Atom into some sort of play, because again, like, the opportunity for a quick turnaround, thanks to the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, means you can look for these, but they're just going to try and trade the Dragon for more pressure on this top side. And again, like, we're talking about Rogue Warriors wanting to try and shove in these side lanes and get that tempo advantage so they can actually look for these picks, but if they've got that top turret down, creates a little bit of a longer lane, a little bit of an easier time for Rogue Warriors to make these plays happen.
Got a big gold advantage between the 2 top laners, but that's pretty much the only significant advantage that we've got across the entire map, and it does feel like ZDZ does not have a big way of influencing the game right now unless he can get some huge Hextech ultimatums in these fights. If he can be that pick tool. Because remember, we talked about the pick for Rogue Warriors and how iBoy is a prime target, but he's got that cleanse. Well, you can't cleanse a Hextech ultimatum. That's one of those picks that's not got a huge amount of counterplay except for positioning correctly before the fight. Xiaohao is going to be hooked in here. Big opportunity for RA, and this is not really a pick. This is more of a team fight. And so Rogue Warriors decide to just back away.
And you can see, even with FoFo topside, you didn't really have ZDZ in position. Just give mid-prio here for Rogue Warriors, though. And you talked about, hey, potentially locking up iBoy. ZDZ looking fairly close to him.
Hung's in trouble. He's going to go down, surely. My feed is frozen. Here we go. They get over the wall onto Leyan as well. Rogue Warriors, they get a pick onto the support. And now, prime position. This is the opportunity that Rogue Warriors have been waiting for all game long. ZDZ threatening onto iBoy. They get his flash out. He's only got cleanse remaining, but he's got a lot of DPS to throw in. QiuQiu blocks almost all of it, though, and the Calibrum goes wide. Now onto FoFo. He's 1v5. He misses the scatter of the week. Flashes over the wall. Triple bubble lands. ZDZ's on. FoFo is down. And in the meantime, Xiaohao looking for more in a 1v1 against the enemy jungler. Flashes forward to try and finish Leyan. Sonic Wave hits, and Cube now trying to chase him down with the Sonic Wave on the wall. Can he survive? Jumps over, snipped down by Cube. QiuQiu is here. We've got a re-TP in from both solo laners here from Rogue Warriors. They are desperate to get a Baron.
And they'll get it. Like, there's no one who can really contest this as Rare Adam. You don't have the ultimate from Cube, neither on iBoy. It would be a miracle if they can steal this away. Enchanted
Cube
Crystal Arrow is
has
nearly
to
up.
be the hero right here. They jump in. That's one pick. Goes the way of Cube. This smite comes in from the Spellbook of Forge. But now the fight. Can Rare out and finish it off? iBoy still full HP. Still free firing away. But Forge trying to take him down himself. He does fall. Forge survives here. Walks away barely. TP coming on through. Can the Baron recall finish off for Forge? He's desperate to get out. And he will just about do so.
That was a game of inches for Rogue Warriors, and they get out with just an inch left. Now it's actually going to be Forge who's the only one with that Baron buff up and available. Everyone else went down. Xiaohao hadn't spawned in time. But my word, this game's getting spicy bunch. I didn't realize we were going to be getting treated to 2 bangers today when I jumped into this cast, but look how quickly you get the reactions here from Forge and Bay. Instant flash away from FoFo, and that's why they're able to set up this play. And we talked about, look, the picks are so strong on Rogue Warriors. Well, when you end up in these 1vx scenarios, it becomes really hard to try and deal with that. Xiaohao, take a bow. That was just sick. That was just really, really clean.
Yeah, really nice Q at the end there. And it sets up for the Baron for Rogue Warriors. They managed to base this one down. They have their Spellbook Smite as well. But then RA kind of clean up.
Yeah, I thought we'd get the re-engage coming through. I was ticking down until the Enchanted Crystal Arrow was up. The second it's up, Betty manages to get it off, which is why he ends up setting up so many of these kills in the pit. You can see how long he lasts because the Immortal Shield Bow, even the Rage Knife as well, helping out to a certain extent. But Cube, this Gwen, so strong in these kind of pit scenarios where she can get the Hollowed Mist and play on the edge of it to deal so much damage while receiving next to none.
But it was relatively evenly traded, and ultimately, there's not that many Baron buffs that came off the back of the play. I'm not sure if Xiaohao had respawned in time to get one himself.
Just one. It's just Forge.
So just Forge with that Baron buff. But they still get the gold swing from that, but they did lose some players as well. QiuQiu has to be the one to try and get a ward in, but the bubble goes wide, and Leyan actually walks forward here. Unbreakable will keep QiuQiu fairly safe as Xiaohao returns to his team. Dragging up in 20 seconds here, Dagda.
Yeah, big weight being lost by Rare Adam on that top side. Looks like that inner tier 2 might go down to that push. There it goes. As Rogue Warriors now, they're threatening, but still they're trying to spread out RA. See if they can use the range to poke them down, and
Hung's
then
been
find
caught
the pit.
again. Huge damage there onto Hung here. Cube stepping forward, trying to clear vision. There's a hook coming on through. I didn't see who it's on, but the Unbreakable blocking so much damage. QiuQiu doing work for his team as he jumps back away from the fray. Unbelievable disengage from Rogue Warriors. I cannot believe he lived that.
Yeah, and again, Rogue Warriors go back to this poke and prod
Wait,
style.
another pick on the top
QiuQiu
side?
manages to get out.
Another bubble comes in. Here they go. They're looking for a pick onto the Zoe here. In fact, it's FoFo that goes down in there, and Cube chased underneath the tower here. Tower low on HP itself. The bubble lands. It's the shutdown for ZWuJi. They've got the Baron buff on the minions. They've got Prio in the mid lane. They can just push for more. 2 huge picks, 2 huge shutdowns, and Rogue Warriors are going to blow open the base.
They could get both sides. Look at the top lane. There's a wave there as well. They can just get mid, rotate top, and get 2 inhibitors for themselves. Rogue Warriors, they do lose the dragon, but they're gaining so much off this play.
Rogue Warriors say, you can have your soul point. We do not care. We want to get ourselves some physical gold. We want to get ourselves objectives on the map. That's going to be another tower taken. 10 seconds on the respawn for FoFo and Cube. And Rogue Warriors decide not to push it too far and to back away.
I gotta say, Betty has been so clever with how he's using these enchanted crystal arrows. He holds it for so long in this replay that we're going to see that when we actually look again here, Cube does manage to get the Zhonya's down, but that's the re-engage coming through that sets up this whole play. And you'd think, you know, QiuQiu going low, so much that could be pending on this enchanted crystal arrow use. And Betty is just pulling aces every single time.
Poor FoFo, just betrayed by his top laner there. The Sonya is going to be used, and the bubble travels straight through where Cube was stood, and FoFo ends up going down. FoFo immediately is like, all right, time for a Banshees. That's never happening again. I'm never getting caught by that again. But again, we see the power that this Ashe brings, right? Not only the enchanted crystal arrow, but then this slows onto Cube so that he can't escape either.
Yeah, the big thing here, though, is that we got to kind of look at, like, what can Rogue Warriors do with what they gained, okay? Because, yes, they've got mid lane priority. That's great. They don't really have a strong split pusher who can go and take that bot side. ZWuJi loses to Cube, but I'm going to hold on to this point as we got contest mid.
Hold that thought. Hung caught by another Sleepy Trouble bubble. Wave will be cleared, though. There's enough of a threat that Rare Atom have to respect Rogue Warriors here. Cube had based to go and try and deal with what's happening in the bottom side. ZWuJi can annihilate those towers pretty damn quickly, and in fact, he wants a 1v1. Cube may be in trouble. I don't know. I'm not sure how this matchup goes. ZWuJi backs away, just goes onto the tower here instead. Xiaohao was on the way. That's why ZWuJi was taking the 1v1. FoFo trying to trade on the top side of the map here. Gets a tower for himself, but you're against the backdoor specialist. I'm not sure you can be caught on the wrong side of the map today, sir. Rare Atom will clear the wave. They will answer what Rogue Warriors are bringing. And now it's FoFo continuing to push on the top side. Does have his teleport available. He's trying to force a TP, but he's not going to get it as Rogue Warriors just going to recall.
Yeah, Rare Atom even realized that they need to back off of that one because they couldn't try and stop recalls because the potential turn coming through with how much CC's on Rogue Warriors is going to be a bit of a painful time for Rare Atom. But I want to kind of like hammer home what we were talking about just before we had this transaction, because the problem for Rogue Warriors is, as you can see, ZWuJi not really able to beat Cube, so he can't really try and pressure on towards this top lane turret. The priority mid is going to be nice, but again, you're not able to really get too much done off of it. You can see Rare Atom are just perfectly happy to stand in mid, push against these waves. You got Betty to clear them out, and they can still hold pressure on both sides. So for Rogue Warriors, although that presence and that passage of play was really nice, they still are back trying to find these picks, trying to find these good engages against the Rare Atom that's now built Banshee's Veil, Zhonya's, a lot of things that are stopwatch even for iBoy, things that make it very difficult to find these crucial picks.
Forge is terrifying right now as well. If he gets a bubble on you and manages to follow up with a paddle star, it's almost certain death at that point in the game. For Rare Atom, we talked about their scaling. We've reached that stage. iBoy has the 3 items. We've got a Syndra on 3.5 here. Cube has been monumentally huge for the entire game as Forge gets away. Depth charge will hit him, but he's miles away by the time that it does. ZWuJi, I thought he was going to engage there. He's just toying with the idea.
But we're spending a lot of time here mid battling Prio for the dragon, and there's the engage.
Arrow onto Leyan here. They're trying to finish off the Viego to start things off, but iBoy, what are you doing, man? He's got a Zonya's, but he might have just killed himself. iBoy runs into the middle of everyone. I think maybe they still win the fight over this one. iBoy is a mentalist, but it does not matter. Rare Atom cleaning up. He was playing distraction because he knows Cube is on Gwen. Stun comes out onto ZDZ, but he still gets out with his life here. Forge trying to escape. Leyan chases him down. Betty is alone. Cube trying to snip him to pieces, but gets the slows out, gets the movement speed from that as well, and keeps himself alive.
And although iBoy ended up in the middle of the team, it was actually a great kick from Xiaohao that set that up. But it doesn't matter, Rare Atom, they still win the fight. They're turning towards the dragon. They're going to be able to get this soul for themselves. And you can see in these full 5v5s, it's Rare Atom who are coming out on top. It's Rare Atom who are pushing the envelope. And now they look in prime position to battle back against Rogue Warriors. Watch this again. You get the follow through here from Xiaohao. He goes straight across, boots iBoy into the team, which sets up ZDZ. But going golden buys enough time to just find these resets, find the time for Rare Atom to deal with ZDZ, who's in the backline, Cube to deal monumental damage to Rogue Warriors, and actually be able to turn this fight with the other carries that still exist on Rare Atom.
All right, fair enough. I missed the kick on that one. I take it back, iBoy. You're not a mentalist. Well, maybe sometimes. But,
well,
but still, great kick coming out from Xiaohao, but it's not enough. And again, it goes back to what we were talking about before, right? This Viego, this Gwen, they will still take over a fight, even if the Aphelios can't do anything. You see 2 damage across the entire fight, but it doesn't matter because there are so many carries.
And that's the thing, is that, like, even though you're looking at the damage graph, you can see it's kind of matched for Betty, but Forge isn't able to deal as much damage. ZDZ trying his best, but just isn't quite able to live up. So just the amount of carries on Rare Atom makes it so difficult to play with. And now, Rare Atom, once again, group up in this mid lane. It's not like Rogue Warriors are actually able to play off towards those turrets that they took earlier on. And even for the backdoor specialists, trying to get an inhibitor and 2 Nexus turrets while Rare Atom are engaged elsewhere is going to be really tough to do.
You do say that, but if they could get a slow push going, if they could get a minion wave to crash while, like, Baron comes up, while there's shenanigans enough going on, ZDZ takes back towers real quick. So I'm just saying it's possible. They are the backdoor specialists after all, Dagda. They'll find a way. But Rare Atom, 0-1 in this series, and once again, I want to remind everyone, this is a team that if they can win this series will be in sole possession of 2nd place in the league against a team in 14th. This is not a series that anyone expected to be this damn close, but Rogue Warriors are giving them the fight for their life.
And Rare Atom, once again, keeping groups, stopping Rogue Warriors from being able to find them separated from the squad. Forge trying to see if he can land a couple of these triple bubbles, but not quite able to do so. Side lanes in Rare Atom's favor as well, so they're pretty much able to chill here and just keep threatening this Baron.
iBoy does get caught by the trouble bubble, but Hung is able to just stand in front of him. Forge didn't have the follow-up available. And we've got to look towards Betty and Xiaohao. Xiaohao spent the entire early game focusing on getting Betty ahead. He's got 4 items. He's on this Ashe, who's already very much a late game carry. This does feel like a relatively low damage build comparatively to what we're used to seeing with things like the Kraken Slayer. RA going to start the Baron. They know in a 5v5 they have the advantage. Xiaohao misses his Q, has to drop a control ward in instead. He wants to try and go for the steal here. It's down to 3,000, but it's not going to go in the pit. They just turn around for the fight instead. RA find an opportunity here. There's 1 for Cube already. The resets on this Viego as they look for more. 2 for ZDZ though. This is answered. Keep your eyes on Betty, trying to kite this one away. Gets the minion wave for a bit of lifesteal as well. It's going to be 2 taken out in favor of Rogue Warriors here.
You've got the TP from ZDZ. He can come back into this. Rare Atom, they're on the top side of the map. They could just look to shove in mid, but Rare Atom holding on towards this position in the top side jungle. So Rogue Warriors turn back over towards the Baron.
They're going to be able to use that mid prio to turn onto the objective once again. That felt real dicey, but with 2 kills going away, with Cube getting taken out of the fight, Rogue Warriors survive the skirmish and they get themselves a Baron. They hold on to this game, Dagda. And now with that Baron, maybe you'd have a bit more side lane pressure.
I missed what happened to Cube here, because I just assumed that as soon as Rare Atom got this engage, it was all going to go well. Betty does have the stopwatch, so assuming uses this halfway through, but yeah, I mean, Cube just gets annihilated by ZDZ in the Hollowed Mist. Doesn't make a difference. So, hey, we were talking about needing more carries on Rogue Warriors' side. ZWuJi steps up in this one. Make sure that you can get the kill on towards the top laner and support for Rare Atom. And as you get Betty healing up in the mid lane alongside Xiaohao, RA have got to back away. They know ZWuJi has that TP to come and engage as well.
Man, there are too many carries in this game. It feels like anyone at any given moment could pop off in one of these fights. It's pure chaos. Everyone just diving into the meat grinder, and it's down to mechanical skill to see who comes out on top. ZWuJi pushing in the top side right now. Elder is up in a minute's time. He needs to be cautious not to push too far too early here and end up getting caught out before Elder comes up. But if he can keep pressure for in a minute's time, that'll be a window of opportunity for Rogue Warriors to take over the game and maybe finish out the series.
This is the pressure that Rogue Warriors needed, though. Now you're putting Rare Atom on the back foot. They've got to try and contest with pressure topside, pressure elsewhere, a barrened up mid lane coming through from Rogue Warriors, and now you can look for picks as Rogue Warriors.
Dagda, I feel like this next fight could decide it all here. Who have I got to keep my eyes on? Is the action's going to kick off any minute?
ZWuJi. I mean, he's the one. He's going to be pushing side lanes. He has no teleport here, so for Cube, he's the one with the teleport advantage. ZWuJi needs to cause enough of an issue that either he's able to 1v1 Cube and stop him from TPing, or Rogue Warriors need to find a pick with Betty. There we go.
Oh, they look for it. Arrow comes in. There's a flank coming out from ZWuJi as well. 4 men here for Rare Atom as they try and kite away. They've actually won out on the damage trade so far as it's half HP bars for Rogue Warriors. Slow's coming out. Forge gets the trouble bubble in. It's only onto Hung though. They don't follow up for now. Cube still just in the side lane, clearing away the minions. The attempt from Rogue Warriors feels like it's fallen short here.
The arrow is halfway off cooldown though, because we're level 16 for Betty, comes across very, very fast again. So TP now committed for Cube. This is where it gets scary.
We could have a 50-50 Elder to decide everything here. Betty firing strong. Chocho trying to tank up for the whole team. There's one for ZWuJi, but it's Hung to trade it. ZWuJi's on the back line, pushed into GA already. Force trying to buy space for his top laner, but he just can't do it. iBoy put to sleep, but he's having sweet dreams tonight because RA take themselves the fight.
They can't go towards the Elder though. They don't have a, oh well, they're going to go and try for it anyway, but they don't actually have a jungler here. So Betty trying to play keep away against iBoy. ZWuJi being a nuisance elsewhere. TP is up.
iBoy just gets melted. What is this for Betty? 1v2 right here. The arrow makes it happen. Pops to GA. And now they return onto the Elder once more. Betty surely has to give him trouble. He's buying space for ZWuJi, but he can't finish off the inhib. Now Betty goes back in once more. He's desperate to try and cause a ruckus, but the Elder taken means Betty has to get well out of there.
And these fights are so damn close. Rogue Warriors end up losing out towards the pressure, but keep your eyes on ZWuJi again. He is bursting through members of Rare Atom now. Absolutely destroys Leyan in this fight. So we get the TP come through from Cube. That Mountain Dragon doing so much work against the poke that's coming through from Rogue Warriors. And watch the end. He just gets popped by ZWuJi with the Precision Protocol. He then turns towards FoFo, buying space for that Rogue Warriors backline, but unfortunately for them, iBoy doing way too much as he's able to flash in on towards Forge and finish him off. But even with the Elder Dragon, it's gonna give RA the pressure to try and push mid, to try and get these waves in their favor. But they always have to be careful. As he said, like, you have these double TPs. We've seen what Rogue Warriors can do when given an inch, and you've got that top wave pushing in favor of Rogue Warriors.
My only regret in life, Dagda, is that ZWuJi didn't drop a ward while he was in the base just now.
I know.
If he'd had an opportunity to get a ward down there, that could have been the window for Rogue Warriors. But here we go with Elder now. Rare Atom pushing multiple lanes. That's 2 tier 2s taken, and on towards the inhibs they go. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does not connect. The wave clear is decent from a Zoe, but I don't know if it's good enough to deal with multiple lanes in multiple waves pushing in at the same time. Leyan and Cube move towards the mid lane to try and get a 5-man push going. They've got to try and protect this minion wave, escort it in so that they can force the issue onto the tower. iBoy shreds through the tower like it's made of paper. And now 45 seconds on the clock until this Elder runs out. RA, could they try and end things here? They've got to get some picks down. They've got to find the fight as fast as possible. One tower falls. Xiaohao threatening the dive onto the backline, threatening the Dragon's Rage. 30 seconds still on the Elder Drake here. Feels like Rare Atom not convinced enough to try and end the game. They're going to look for a second inhibitor instead.
Baron is up as well, so you don't get the chance for Rare Adam to try and reset for that objective. It's all or nothing here as they go in.
Cube is in. He's tanking tower right now. Cube could go low on this one, but the tower goes down. Elder down in 10 seconds time. The inhib will surely fall on this one, but Xiaohao looks for a kick. Oh, it's Zhonya's out from Leyan. The stopwatch saves his life and he gets back into the mist. Chocho, unbreakable, but not unbreakable enough. As Rare Atom charged forth, and it's a great day for science as a Rare Atom has finally been found in this series. Xiaohao goes down. The finisher is plenty from iBoy. These late game carries come out on top. 700 years across this entire team when it comes to the carries. As Betty falls, the Nexus is bare, and Rare Atom hold on.
And that was a brawl of a game. This series is insane so far. Rare Adam have got to fight tooth and nail against Rogue Warriors, try and manage all these different moving parts where you're finding picks, you have ZWuJi who's causing destruction towards your carries, but eventually Rare Adam find that fight. They take the Elder Dragon and they take the game as a result.
This is an amazing series. I cannot believe that this is an amazing series, but it is. Rogue Warriors and Rare Atom going at it one apiece now, and Rare Atom showing that when it comes to the macro and the late game, that is their strength. But look at that goal graph. Look how close this entire game was. And I feel like I criticized Cube early on in the game, saying, I don't know if this is the guy to carry the game for Rare Atom, but I feel like in these fights, he stepped up.
I mean, definitely. There was a lot of people who could have borne the mantle as a carry, but Cube definitely on this Gwen able to get a lot of work done, threatening Betty in so many of these fights, causing real issues for Forge as well. It felt like Forge never really got an opportunity to deal as much damage as he was as possible because he constantly had Cube chasing him down in his face, trying to zone that Zoe out of the fight. So I think across the board, you had Rare Adam playing it as like really pushed to their limits here, and the only reason I feel like they won this was simply because they had so much late game scaling. But even then, it wasn't a guarantee that these fights were going to go their way just because of how well Rogue Warriors were playing them.
Well, Cube is going to be the MVP coming off of the back of game number 2 in this series. And my goodness, I think it deserved MVP here. Managed to do a really good job to hold the side. 100% kill participation. If that ain't enough for an MVP, as a top laner, by the way, I don't know what is, because the rest of the map basically fell apart towards the start of the game. So fair play to Cube on this one. I think a well-earned MVP. He was a full 6-item top laner by the end of this one.
Yeah, I mean, this was a long game. This went the distance, and God, I don't know, man. I just want to get into game number 3. I'm so excited. This series has delivered tenfold than I ever expected.
And you know, the best thing, Dagda, this isn't even the best series of the day. We got the match of the week up after this. We've still got another game of this, which has turned out to be an unprecedented banger that nobody expected. And then we go